family. I am here with one of our 2020 graduates, Katelyn Godbold. She is going to be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Worship Ministry. So we just want to hear a little bit from you about your GCD experience and where you are going to be going. So with that, what is something you noticed at GCD versus your other educational experiences?
Yeah, so I actually transferred to GCD my junior year of college. I went to a small private university in downtown Raleigh studying musical theater, actually. And while I loved it there, I felt definitely a different calling, or maybe I realized my calling that God had all along for my life. And so I moved back home to Fayetteville and I went to GCD. And it was just a really unique experience because the small classroom setting was amazing for me. I've always been very hands-on, very personal, one-on-one, and I definitely experienced that at GCD, whether it was online classes or in person. I had a mixture of both, and I actually was a little hesitant at first about the online classes because I went to public school. I've always been, in the classroom, or so I was hesitant, but it was great. Some of my favorite classes were online, so really grateful for that. The personal aspect of GCD was the most important thing to me, and just the flexibility, being able to talk to my advisor about which classes to take. And I went through something really hard my senior year of college here at GCD, and I lost my dad. I had to be at the hospital a lot in Durham, and I was in the middle of a semester, so I had to, actually Stephanie was one of my professors at the time, and it was just obviously a very hard time for me and my family, and GCD helped me in the best way possible. I was able to finish my classes that semester virtually, and that next semester I had to take off. But I was able to just jump back in and make sure I had all of my credits in line and everything. It was just a very hard time, but the flexibility was very helpful for me and my family, and my dad would have been really pleased. So I'm just super grateful for that.
Now, you talked a little bit about calling, but how has GCD helped you prepare for your calling?
Yeah, so the leadership classes, it's a big part of GCD, is the leadership aspect. I think I have been prepared to lead in so many different ways through our classes here. And so I studied worship ministry, and I just recently started my full-time position here at Manna Church as the worship leader at the Hope Mills site. So I feel like I was definitely equipped and prepared to do that. While I had been leading worship since I was a teenager, I am now able to do it as, not only I did it in my classes, it was a class, credit, it's now my career. So I felt like I was really prepared through GCD to do that, and I'm really grateful that I now get to do it at Manna Church.
Great. Now, you talked a little bit about your next steps, but what are your next steps after you graduate with us?
Yeah, so obviously I'm doing what I love, and I think that's super important to do what you're passionate about, but I think that you don't stop there. You keep going and you keep learning, and I think that GCD definitely taught me that your 4-year degree isn't where you stop. And so I want to continue to learn, continue to be devoted to Christ through just daily devotionals, daily learning, things like that. But I also want to probably take or do my master's here. So I don't know when I'll start that, but it's definitely something I've been interested in, and I've been talking to some advisors about. So hopefully in the near future I will be getting my master's at GCD.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us, telling us about your experience. And thank you for joining us. And remember, every believer has a calling. It's time to get ready.